When you join my game, there's plenty to see, but it wasn't always this way. You see, the game originally only consisted of these two islands and the bridge, and has been built upon to become what it is today. Welcome to part 1 of the series, explaining the lore to the Berber. Now, looking at the game, there's probably not much you can tell. No, we can't really tell if there's much lore. There's not much going on. Not much going on. But little did you know, behind the scenes, this game has deep lore regarding plenty of characters. Our first person that we'll be going over today is Poison, since he's at the spawn platform. Everybody say hi to Poison. Now Poison, we're just, we're gonna go after these few first ones, but Poison is one of my friends, first commenter ever added to the game, and he lost his cat. And that's where we get our first badge. Now, of course, I already have the badge, but so it's not going to show up. But when you get over here, you do in fact get the badge. I forgot I added that. Oh, but this leads us to our next character. This is Sari Fairy. Sari Fairy's another person who got into the video, another one of the starting. She was subscribed for a while, so she kind of she never commented. Very weird. Next up, we got Spooky the Ghost. Spooky has this little island over here, in which our first object of importance, Ghost Ground, lies. And the Ghost Ground can give you some powers. Actually, it lets you fly, basically. So all you gotta do is climb up the clouds and reach it, and that's what Spooky's here to do. Now, of course, there's also another item over there that you might have noticed, other than just the Ghost Ground, which helps you fly, and that other item is a sword, in which there are a lot of swords in this game. The game's kind of a battle royale if you can get the swords. Like here, there's some swords in here. Very cool. This is one of my most recent characters, so I'm not going to talk about him yet. This is Zenelope. She has just a few coins. She's like a queen. Also one of the more early commenters. Very cool, very interesting. It's not anything too crazy. But she has a castle. She's definitely gonna come into the lore later on, because she may not seem like much now, but a queen's gotta have an army, right? Of course, next up we have Johnny, good old Johnny, also one of the first commenters. He wasn't like too important to the lore at first, but he has some lore. He told you that the NPCs are stronger than they appear, which they are. This is Solo Devs. He was more recent, and he is a government mandated agent who protects this little bunker right here, which also comes important later on. But this little government organization. What the heck? The hell? But the government organization, it just protects this little bunker, which is very important to the lore. It holds plenty of items that do provide power, and that power needs to be seized by somebody. So next time I'll be talking about this guy. Some of the stuff over here, this guy, and some other characters, including this guy. we got a lot to talk about. So see you in the next video.